Hey guys, Eric with Blue Line Fishing. Welcome back to the channel. Your time's important to me as always, and what we're going to do in our time together today is check out this new spinning reel that was sent to me by Runcl. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's R-U-N-C-L is the name of the company, Runcl, and it is a Titan II spinning reel. It's a 2000 series. I could choose between the 2000 to the 6000 they had, so 5 different ones, but I chose the smallest one because I wanted something that I could use for both pan fishing like crappie and bluegill, and then I could also use it for finesse fishing, whether I'm throwing, small Ned rigs or something like that. So we're gonna check this reel out in depth. We're gonna throw some line on it, and we're gonna try it out on 2 different rods, an ultralight panfish rod and a finesse rod, both. So stick with me. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay guys, this is the Titan II 2000, so it is the 2000 series size reel. They actually have 5 that you can choose from, the 2000, 3, 4, 5, and 6000. This is the smallest one in the series, and the reason I chose this one, like I said before, is I wanted one that I could use for panfish like crappie and bluegill, and also wanted one that I could use for finesse fishing like Ned rigs, drop shotting, things like that, and run as light as 6-pound test line. So with that being said, let's get down to the stats on this reel and take a closer look at it. Okay guys, first look at this reel. When you look at it, it's good looking. It's a sexy reel. It has got a lot of the porting in it, like you see along the bottom of the spool here, or the venting. And the reason that's usually done is just aesthetically, it's nice looking, it's pleasing, but it's usually to take weight off the reel. And speaking of weight, this reel weighs 8.8 ounces. So, like I say, smaller size reel. For this size reel, good and light, that's for sure. To give you the other stats on it, it is the gear ratio on it is 5.3 to 1, which equates to an IPT, or inches per handle turn, of 29.5 inches. So that means for every one complete revolution of the handle, you're going to be bringing in approximately 29.5 inches of line on this particular reel. It is a 10 bearing system on this reel. It has stainless steel shielded bearings, and that, according to their website here, and it also has brass pinion gears in it, and it's supposed to be strengthened by aluminum drivetrain. I'm going to give you a little closer look at it here as far as taking the spool cap off here, and we're going to get a look at some of the inner workings here. Okay guys, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this spool cap off right here. If you guys aren't familiar with spinning reels, you're going to want to turn this counterclockwise here, and what that's going to do, it's going to remove the spool cap here, so we can get in there and take off the spool itself, and we can see a little bit more of the inner workings here. So with that being said, we're just going to continue to turn this counterclockwise. And we've almost got it where we can get it off here. Okay guys, once we've turned it counterclockwise enough times, you'll be able to pop that spool cap off just like that. And then remove the spool. We'll take a closer look at that in a second. And you can see a little bit of the inner workings right here. And I'm going to zoom in on this so you can get a little better look at it. Let that focus in there. So that, what I like to see there, that is metal on metal construction, except for this looks like a silicone type of washer that's in there, and looks like it's well made. And also the bail, the assembly right here that the bail sits on is, whoops, sorry, can't see it there, is metal as well. So that looks like a nice solid assembly there on the base of the spool and the spool shaft. Okay guys, we're going to take a closer look at the spool itself here, and you can see once again it is a vented, ported spool here, normally just done to take some weight off of it. You see this silicone band that's around it right here. That's for if you're tying braid directly off onto the spool, it doesn't slip on that metal as it that knot cinches down. It'll want to slip and give some, so that if you are using braid, that that band there is nice because it'll prevent the reel from being able to, or the spool from being able to slip with that braid on it. Take a little look at the back here too. You can see as we get down in here, looks like everything in there except for this one piece right here. Oh no, I take it back. That is actually metal. I thought it was going to be plastic. That's metal. That's a good thing to see. So that's all metal construction down inside there. I'm trying to give you the best look I can, get some light on it. So yeah, you can see all the pins in it here, and this whole assembly is metal, metal on metal fit, which is always better than plastic on metal or plastic on plastic. Okay guys, so the reassembly on this here is super simple. We're just going to take this and set it up on the spool shaft, kind of spin it around there till it seeds down on there, and you've got some threading from that spool shaft sticking out, and this is going to go back on the opposite way that it went off by turning it clockwise and tighten it down. This is also how you would tighten your drag. So left is going to loosen your drag, and right is going to increase the drag. And speaking of the drag on this reel is 33 pounds. And yes, you heard that correctly, 33 pounds. That's quite a lot, especially for a reel of this size. So I'll be really curious to see if it can actually do 33 pounds of drag force. But it's the drag system on it's supposed to be 3-piece carbon fiber washers in it, which you know, I like that setup as well. When we get up here and we start, let me zoom back out just a little bit here, give us a little more room to work with. So when I'm looking at the reel and the bail and how it trips over, normally when I'm fishing with the spinning reel, I do not, once I trip the bail and cast, I don't normally let the reel engage with the handle. I do that with my hand as I cast, and then I'll just flip it back with my hand. But with that being said, this engages very smoothly. So that I like to see. Another thing I'm going to look at is the oscillation on the reel. In other words, when I spin the reel handle really fast, how much of a wobble is it in my hand? So when we do that, you can hear the reel, a little bit of clicking there. I don't know if it's going to matter or not, but really with my hand right here, there's not a ton of vibration transmitting through my hand, which is a good thing, and it's not wanting to shake out of my hand. So it's got good control there. There's not a lot of oscillation in it, which is something else that I really like to see as well. You can see as you go up here to the reel foot here that connects into the reel seat on the rod, it's all metal, and it's also vented or ported there again. Once again, takes some weight off the reel, and they've done that also to the back section of the reel housing here as well. And that's just, you can see they're kind of transparent. Once again, they do it just to take weight off, and plus it just looks sexy. Okay guys, a couple other things we're going to look at here too. Number one, this is the anti-reverse on it, how it holds up. And in other words, when I'm reeling and I stop and I push backwards on the reel handle here, I don't want it to have any play or any give in it, because that can cause me to lose fish on a hook set. And it also, whenever I'm stopping that reel and I'm working a bait, I don't want that reel handle to give back any and letting the line pay back out, because to me it just distracts from whatever technique you're trying to use with the reel. This has no play like that, which I like to see. So a true anti-reverse right there, and that is very, very good to see. Next thing here, you guys know, almost all spinning reels are made where you can just take the retainer nut off this one side, and then you can switch the handle to the opposite. So this is set up to be a traditional right now, is a right-handed retrieve. Even though I'm actually reeling with my left hand, but what's considered a right-handed retrieve. But you can move this over, and it just simply goes in this opposite side right here, and it would be then a left-handed retrieve when you put the screw cap back on that other side. Okay guys, before I put this screw cap back on here and cinch it down, what I wanted to show you too, if you wanted to fold this handle down a little bit for it to be compact to transport, so you wanted to put, say, a reel cover on it, and you were transporting a long way, or just throw it in the back of the truck, in the truck bed where it's rolling around, you don't want it to get beat up, your boat, whatever. You can actually pull that out like I just did about halfway, and you can see, you can push it back in there, and you can fold this handle down, and now you can see it's about sticking about half the distance that it was. Then you can place the screw cap back on here and tighten it down, and you're good to go for transport. So like that, and then once you get to where you're going, you can back that screw out just a little bit, and then you can just reassemble this whole thing to the full length. But like I said, that's an easy way to get that reel handle compact and folded down for transport, if that's something you want to do. Okay guys, so that's a look at this reel as far as just kind of static like this, but the real test of it is going to be putting some line on it, and that's just what I'm going to do, and taking it out the lake and making some test casts with it and fishing with it some. So with that being said, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put some 6-pound CX P-line on there, and we're going to check it out lakeside and see how it works out on a couple different rods. Okay guys, let's try out the casting ability of this Titan II spinning reel. Now what I did was put that 6-pound P-line on it, and then I also paired it up with a Lew's Laser HS ultralight rod. This is a 5'6" ultralight rod, fast action on it. This is going to be for like crappie, bluegill, for pan fishing. And what I put on here was a small, just a 1/16 ounce jig head with a little Bobby Garland baby shad, so it's a very lightweight presentation, something like this time of year heading into the fall transition we'll be using for bluegill, but mainly crappie fishing and such. So we're going to see how it works out with this. You can see that's way out there. That does a really nice job. I've been casting a little bit here before we started filming, and didn't have any problem with any kind of line twist or looping or anything like that off the spool, and the casting distance on it has been really nice, and actually the retrieve on it as well is really smooth too. So with this ultralight setup as far as crappie and bluegill goes, I think I'm going to be pleased with it, but I will be sure to come back the late part of the fall and give you guys another update on how this has done with that. But let's go ahead and put a Finesse rod on it and see how that does. Okay guys, now we have this Titan II rigged up on a 7-foot Daiwa Laguna rod, and I didn't change the line on it. Going to use that 6-pound test because that's 6 or 8 pound is usually what I use if I'm throwing a Ned rig like this, or even Cincos in open water. You know, they're wacky rigged, rigged Texas style, what have you. So this is going to be my Finesse setup, and I can use this reel for it as well. Also, if you guys are interested, I have some other reel reviews on different spinning reels like the Quantum Vapor, Casino reel, some other ones, also some bait casting reels, and I'll leave those links down in the description for you guys to check out. Okay, let's check out the casting on this. As far as this Ned rig on here, it's just an 1/8 of an ounce Ned rig, very lightweight Finesse rig that's on here right now, and hopefully with this 7-foot rod here we'll get some decent casting ability. And you can see that is, if you can see where that hit out there, that is kind of a country mile out there. Very good casting. The retrieve on it is very smooth. No hitches on it or anything like that. And also I've been messing with it some and casting it some here, tripping the bail back over. I usually trip the bail back over by hand and not engage it with the reel handle once I cast, and just tripping that bail over after the cast too. And I'll cast again here and show you. So after the cast here, trip it back over with my hand. It's very smooth. So everything about this reel that I've seen so far I really like. Okay, that's going to wrap up our review and kind of the overview of this Runcl Titan II spinning reel. Once again, it's the 2000 series, nice and compact. I really like what I've seen from it. Also, when they sent me this reel to check out, they sent me a discount code that I'll link down below. So I'll link to their website and also a discount code to this reel as well. And once again, I've got some other review videos on different spinning reels, bait casting reels, and rods too. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave those down in the description below. If you got something out of this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification button down below. That way you get notified each time I upload new videos to YouTube. If you want, leave me a like down there and a comment. I love hearing what you guys have to say. And remember, until that next video, get out there and fish.